Hi, folks. Long time no see. I wanted to talk about something off topic. It's not about Buddhism and not a joke and not about art. And that's UFOs. I'm a very science-minded person and don't go for things I can't find a way to justify or prove to myself to be reasonable to believe in. And I just wanted to say a few things. The first time I had anything to do with UFOs was when I was 4 or 5 years old, living in Arizona. And my family and extended family had driven out to the desert, which wasn't very far away, but somewhere in the desert. Perhaps we went to New Mexico for a day trip. And everyone was out of the car, and they had been passing binoculars around amongst them and exclaiming, saying, "Yes, I see it, there it is." And they were looking at a flying saucer, they said. They passed me the binoculars. I couldn't focus them, so I didn't see anything, so I can't really say I saw the flying saucer that day. But they were convinced they saw it, and that was about 1947. And at that time, because of the atomic bomb and all that, the testing and so forth, people attributed these sightings to beings who wanted us to stop using nuclear energy, to stop dropping atomic bombs, stop big wars and so forth. So I forgot about it. It was in the back of my mind for a long, long time. And then when I was in college, my best friend and I were out at night, and we saw something in the sky. It was a bright light, and it was traveling in a way that was not usual. It was seemingly impossible. It was making a curve, a sharp turn in the sky and so forth. And we both agreed that could not have been anything in an airplane or a balloon or something like that. It was just not maneuvering in the normal way that one is accustomed to seeing things move. So that was my last sighting. And this current exploration by the government into UFOs or UAPs or whatever they're calling them now, it's interesting because some of the sightings seem to be obviously some people are having hallucinations, or there's lights that could be explained another way or whatever. But a lot of them are not. Pilots and trained military people finding these objects or these sightings frequently. And the reason I wanted to say this is today I watched a YouTube video by a person who's a trained body language expert, and he analyzed the hearing where the three guys spoke who were talking. They were expert witnesses that were talking about UFOs and how they're not being properly researched or tracked by the governments. And he did an analysis step by step of their body language, and he said there was absolutely no sign of anybody lying or trying to prove something, or it was just very obviously straightforward reporting of what had happened, what they'd experienced. And I thought back to my own experience. Well, that was clearly something that was really happened. It wasn't anything, it wasn't, a weather balloon or whatever, however they try to explain this stuff. And it wasn't little green men and nobody landed and so forth. But if whatever this is, whatever these things are, they've been around for quite a while. That's 70-some years. They seem to be focused on military operations. And so far they haven't harmed us that we know of. I mean, do we really know what's going on with climate change and COVID and stuff. I don't know. I'm not going to theorize, obviously. Another part of this puzzle for me is that many years ago, about 15 years ago or so, I found online a collection of many pictures of Tsagli, Tsaglig, I believe, which is a type of, it's a drawing, a piece of art on paper, painted on paper, that's used in empowerments for religious purposes. And there are all kinds of different kinds, and according to the lineage and so forth. This is in Tibetan Buddhism. And a lot of them, there was a whole section of them that looked just like flying saucers, like what people were drawing as reporting. Especially in the earlier ones, the Blue Book project report that was done and then closed off years ago. So I don't know if that, I'd like to know if somebody knows what those are, whether they're, some religious object I don't know about or something, but I haven't encountered them in any other context, any other way. I don't know if they're still online. I don't know what happened to the collection. I didn't save any. So I think also I want to say that Steven Spielberg, was interviewed by Colbert about flying saucers, and he had a theory. His theory was that it's us coming back from a future time to try to find out what had happened, how we managed to mess things up so badly, and try to kind of let us know there's something we need to pay attention to. So that's an interesting theory, but they're all theories, and all I know is what I saw and what other people have seen, and that they don't seem to be harming us at all. They seem to be benign. So that's news that's what's on my mind today, I guess. I wish everyone the best possible day. Bye.